right, so welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us for our live demo of our latest and greatest newest tool, SellerPulse. I am Colleen Quattlebaum from Ecom Engine. I am the Director of Marketing here, and I've been here about 9 years. I just came back from Amazon Accelerate in Seattle, so I'm not sure if any of you were there, but that was an awesome event. A lot of fun, got to hear a lot of great information. And back here at Ecom Engine, we've been working on a lot of new and exciting things as well. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to our Director of Product so he can introduce himself as well.
All right. Thank you, Colleen. Yeah, great to be here with everyone and really excited to talk about SellerPulse and product monitoring.
Great. All right, so what is SellerPulse? You've probably heard a little bit about it if you registered for this webinar, but just to give you a brief overview is that SellerPulse is a way for Amazon sellers to keep an eye on your listings and get alerted anytime that there is any potential threats that could help you to improve your sales if you can get that fixed right away. So hijacker alerts is one, search suppression, listing changes, buy box tracking, and out of stock alerts. So these are just a handful of the alerts that SellerPulse will help notify sellers so that you can get things fixed and get back to making sales as quickly as possible. So we've had some beta testers using this for quite some time now, and we got some great feedback, but we officially rolled this out about 2 weeks ago. And there's many agencies and sellers and a lot of folks in the industry that are using this to help monitor their listings, help protect their brand, to make sure that they, optimize their buy box performance. And especially going into Q4 with the holiday season, this is a great time to get started using SellerPulse to make sure you don't miss out on any of those holiday sales. So Amazon does not notify you, of course, of every change that could impact your business. And Amazon's often prone to errors when making corrections to listings. So that's why it's important that you monitor your listings on a regular basis. Some things that you may have experienced is competitors changing listing content or even acting maliciously to hijack listings. And if you haven't experienced this, then that's fantastic. But you want to be aware if something does happen. Pricing changes also on other platforms can suppress the buy box. And anytime that there's any listing changes, time is of the essence. Getting it fixed right away is crucial to make sure that you don't miss out on sales. Anytime that there is a listing issue, it could negatively impact your sales, your searchability, your brand recognition, and your seller reputation. So that's why we came up with SellerPulse to help sellers to keep an eye on all of these things, because it's nearly impossible to do it manually. There's so many things to keep up with, whether the image changes, title changes, brand name changes, if the item was flagged as adult. There's so many things that can happen that once you have more than a handful of SKUs, it's nearly impossible. So an automated tool like SellerPulse can help you keep an eye on all of these things. So just to give you an example of one of the notifications that we have, and then I know we'll jump right into the software demo with Lewis. But one of the notifications that will alert you anytime that your number of offers changes. This helps you to keep an eye on other sellers on Amazon, and you can monitor competitive activity, as well as identify any suspect sellers, such as hijackers. And the benefit of SellerPulse is that we also give you recommended actions and resources to help solve those problems quickly. So if you get an alert that the number of offers changed and it looks like a potential hijacker, you can use our cease and desist template that our friends at Kabili and Company shared with us. So we have this free template that you can use to help resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Send that template over to the person that is potentially hijacking your listing so that you can get that resolved right away. And the number of offers changed notification gives you a lot of valuable data that on the seller so that you can take that to help strengthen your case with Amazon to try to get that rectified. All right, so now what you're all here for today, of course, is the demo. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Lewis, where he will share some more details on SellerPulse. Stop sharing. There we go.
All right.
All right, well, you should have sharing access now.
Perfect. Thanks, Colleen. Yeah, let me just share my screen and we'll jump in. So yeah, the great thing and the most powerful thing about SellerPulse is we make it super easy for you to monitor your entire catalog for all of these important events. So as soon as you sign up, you're going to be dropped here into the dashboard, and there will be a prompt to connect your account to Amazon. So just one simple click over to Seller Central to authorize SellerPulse to start monitoring your listings. And then you'll be dropped back into the dashboard, and you'll know that you're connected with this kind of green check mark here. And so once you're connected to Amazon, all you have to do is just select the different events that you want to start monitoring. So search suppressed, inactive status. You can kind of just go through and turn these on, and then click Save Changes. And then all of a sudden, we will start tracking all of these events for your entire catalog. And whenever any of these events occur, you will receive an email alert to the email address that you signed up with. One other thing that you can specify is how you receive these alerts. You can either receive these in real time as they happen throughout the day individually, or you can choose our daily digest option, which means we will only send you one email per day, and includes all the events that happen for that day. And you can choose the exact hour of the day that you want to receive that. One other thing to point out is if you want to add additional users, additional alert recipients, that's super easy. You simply go over to the settings section, click over to users, and you can add as many additional users as you would like, and just make sure that you click on this checkbox to send emails to that additional user. So really that's the great part about SellerPulse, is it's super easy to get started and make sure that you're tracking all of the important events for your store. And as we send out alerts, you'll notice these tiles will start to populate to give you an overview of the activity within either the past week or the past day. And we also give you the ability to download a CSV. So if you want to have a history of these events and kind of understand by product what's going on, you can kind of stay on top of all of this data with the CSV download option. And so really that's all the functionality within the tool, but I want to kind of go through and talk about each of these items and kind of give some details on what to look out for this. So the first thing is listing status. And when it comes to listing status with Amazon, that basically impacts whether your product is buyable and whether it's discoverable. So an active listing is both buyable and discoverable. And what we mean by discoverable is when a customer goes and searches, your listing is going to show up in those search results. But the thing about search suppressed is that means it's buyable, but it is not discoverable. And so it can be a tricky thing to notice. You may be saying, well, I'm in my listings every day. I don't think I would need this. But the thing is, if your listing is search suppressed, you may not notice it. Amazon's not going to let you know if this happens. You can go directly to your listing in Amazon and it will appear fine. You could go and purchase it. But the thing is whenever anyone's searching and your product should be showing up in those search results, it won't be showing up. So it's really kind of a difficult thing to detect. And it's something that we can send you an email for instantly whenever this happens to any of your catalog items. So I definitely recommend that you activate search suppressed, and it's super important and really can lose out on sales if this goes unnoticed for too long. Inactive status is really the opposite of search suppressed. That means it's discoverable, but it is not buyable. And this can happen for a number of different reasons. It could just be that it went out of stock, or it could be that, Amazon gets complaints about your product, or they determine that you're not eligible to sell that product type. So number of different reasons that your listing could become search suppressed or inactive. Very important to stay on top of these things and make sure that you're getting notified whenever this happens. The other one that Colleen touched on that is really important is monitoring changes in the number of offers. And there's really two use cases for this. So the first one is if you're a reseller, if you're competing for the buy box for listings, you want to be able to monitor this activity and see if any of your major competitors are coming on to or off of these listings, with new offers. The other use case is if you are a brand owner and you just want to make sure that no one that's unauthorized to be selling on your products or even a hijacker is jumping on your listing. And so really it's an important alert for both of those use cases. And we provide a lot of great information for these. So one is we will let you know if the new offer is an Amazon offer or an Amazon warehouse offer, if that's important for you to monitor. And we'll also let you know if the new offer is actually your offer. We make sure of pointing that out as well. So I can just kind of show real quickly what these alerts look like. So here's an example of a new offer, and it's one sold by Amazon. And we give all the information about the price and the fulfillment channel, that sort of thing. If you're a brand and you're wanting to monitor for hijackers and somebody jumps on your listing, an important thing to look at is what's the seller rating on that new offer. Because a lot of times if it is a hijacker or someone doing gray hat or fraudulent things, they may have a really poor seller rating, and that could give you an indication that this is something you need to really look into. And we also actually give the link to the seller profile, so you can click right in and learn everything you can about that seller that's jumped on your listing. Another important thing with our alerts is this see recommended action section. So, as you start getting these emails and we start surfacing these events, you're probably going to be thinking, okay, my listing just got search suppressed or my listing just got hijacked. What do I do now? And so we have great help center content to give you information on all of these different event types. So this is for the number of offers changed. It's going to give you all the different scenarios for why a new seller might be on your listing, what that might mean, what you might want to do to see if this truly is a hijacker. Go ahead and do a test purchase, see if it's a counterfeit item. And as Colleen mentioned, if you identify a hijacker and you need to send a cease and desist letter, you can follow our content and click this link right here to get a free download for a cease and desist letter template through our great partners at Kabillion Company. So yeah, it's great that each of our alert items have the action items kind of built in to tell you exactly how to respond to each of these events. And in addition to having those in the email alerts themselves, each section has a learn more where you can click through and go to that specific help center article to learn about how you need to respond to these situations. All right, and then the next item is listing content changes. So certainly want to keep track of title, image changes, brand, and flagged as an adult. And if you've spent a lot of time working on listings, you'll know that just crazy things can happen. Even if you have your listings pretty well under control and your brand registered and you're the only one that's in there. Amazon is always kind of doing crazy things. They could merge a listing. Somehow your title could be changed. Somehow something in your description could flag your product as an adult. So no matter what, you should always be monitoring this activity. And it's also helpful to monitor this activity, even if these are changes that you're making. It's good that our system is logging these changes, and you now have an historical record of your listings. You can go back and see when the title changed and when the image changed to kind of stay track on the history of your product changes. And definitely the adult flag, I feel like that's a no-brainer. It doesn't happen a lot, but occasionally, either through an error or either through, kind of a malicious competitor or hijacker going in, jumping on your listing, marking it as an adult product, and then you're missing out on sales. So definitely recommend turning that alert on. And then our buy box alert, definitely important to monitor buy box activity. Certainly if you're competing on a listing and you want to make sure that you're always winning the buy box, this is a great alert. But also if you're a brand owner, that can be a great way to just monitor for any activity where somebody that should not be on your listing, maybe they jump on your listing and drop the price and win the buy box from you. So that's an important thing to monitor. And the other thing that's important to monitor that can be difficult to notice is if your buy box is actually suppressed. And that can happen, for a number of different reasons, but typically it's because Amazon's automated system has identified, your product somewhere else online for a lower price. And if you're a brand owner, this can be something that, you want to keep an eye out on, that, you may feel like you're always winning the buy box. No one else is on your listing, but it can be suppressed. And that's what, if you're unfamiliar with that, what that looks like is there's really no buy box winner, and Amazon puts up a button that says see all buying options. I think we have an image of it here. Yeah. So that can definitely lower sales and can be something you want to address. And so we will definitely send you an email anytime that happens. So I recommend enabling the buy box alert and making sure that you're getting alerted anytime there's a lost or suppressed buy box. And the final alert type is inventory, sending alert whenever any of your FBA SKUs run out of stock. Obviously, everyone knows it's important to stay on top of your inventory. But even if you have, a solid solution for managing your inventory, maybe you have a tool like Ecom Engine's Restock Pro to help you stay on top of your replenishment. It can be good to have this alert for everyone in your organization. Maybe this is someone that is not, in charge of inventory, but they need to be notified if certain important SKUs run out of stock. So you can keep everyone in your business on the same page and notified whenever you have an important SKU running out of stock. So yeah, that's kind of a quick overview of all the different alerts that we have. And if you're signing up for SellerPulse, I definitely want you to keep logging in and keep looking at the tool, because new alerts should be popping up pretty steadily. We're constantly adding to this, and this is just kind of the beginning here for SellerPulse development.
Yeah, thanks, Louis. And I just
Yep.
wanted to kind of open it up to the audience to feel free to put any questions in the chat or in the Q&A section. Either way is fine. We did have 2 questions that came up, Louis. So if you don't
Great.
mind addressing those, and One is, can you monitor competitors' ASINs, or do they have to be your own ASINs that you sell?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now, this is monitoring every single ASIN in your catalog, but we don't have the ability to monitor any competitor ASINs. This leverages Amazon's selling partner API, and so for most of that product information, you're only really able to monitor it for your own listings. However, if you do want to monitor competitor ASINs, you'll see this review tab here. SellerPulse also has the capability to track product reviews. And so for product reviews, you can add any ASIN at all on the Amazon Marketplace, including your competitors. So that's a good way to keep an eye out on your competitors to make sure that you're at least kind of looking at the reviews that are coming in. But the other thing is that, with the number of offer change alert and the buy box alert, if your competitors are such that, you're competing with sellers for a certain listing, then you will get notified of, when they add an offer or remove an offer, or if they win the buy box. So yeah, that was a great question.
Okay, and kind of on the heels of that question, somebody asked, is this only for Seller Central, or does it work for Vendor Central?
That is a good question, and this is specific to Seller Central. It is not supported for a Vendor Central use case.
Yeah, however, I will add that Vendor Central users, you can track reviews in our product review management tool, even if you are not a seller. All you have to do is just have an ASIN. You don't have to connect to Vendor Central or Seller Central for that. So if anybody who's on Vendor Central just wants to monitor ASINs for reviews, we can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have another question. Can you only see the notifications in email, or can you see the alerts in the dashboard?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. So right now, the only way to get the detailed alert information is through email. And on the dashboard, we have the counts to give you a kind of a good idea of the activity in your business. And as I mentioned, you can download a summary of the alert data in a CSV file. But that's one of the very next things that we're going to be focusing on for upcoming releases, is making sure that the alert data is also in the UI available for you to kind of go in and you can see a history of the activity for a single product or for all your products, and drill down and see these events inside the UI itself. So that's definitely something that's coming soon. But for now, the only way to get all of the details is through email.
Okay. And we do have one or two more questions here, but there is a free trial. So everybody gets a 14-day free trial, just so you know. So feel free to give it a try. And we do have our pricing on the website, but it starts as low as $19 a month. So it's a very low entry point in terms of cost, but the cost is based on how many orders that you have each month. So back to the questions. We have one on, how does this product work for agencies?
Yeah, so if you are an agency, you can just sign up each of your individual clients. And the good thing about these accounts is you can basically have an unlimited number of additional marketplaces. So yeah, you can monitor all of your different clients, their activities, and if you want to add your clients as recipients to receive these alerts, you can do it through the additional users setting.
Great. I don't see any other questions right now, so we'll just give it a few more seconds in case anything else comes up.
Yeah,
if there's anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I think it'd be good to just kind of show everyone, since we did talk about monitoring reviews, how you would do that if you signed up for a standalone SellerPulse package. So SellerPulse, it has the ability to track reviews as an add-on. So if you didn't add that on during sign up, you can just simply go to the account page and change your subscription to add ASIN review monitoring. So for just $10 a month, you can track 50 ASINs, and it goes on up from there. You can track up to 60,000 ASINs. And so you just simply add that there and click Save Changes. Another thing is, if you're on standalone SellerPulse, but you want to add feedback 5s, feedback and review automation, that's also a super easy thing to do. I'll actually do that here. And I can kind of go over the pricing real quick. So if you have up to 2,000 orders per month, SellerPulse is only $19 a month. Feedback 5 standalone is $24 a month, and you can get both of them together along with 50 ASINs free for $34 a month. And so that's our bundled offering, and really it's our best package. Getting unlimited emails through Feedback 5, monitoring all your listings for your entire catalog, and getting review monitoring for 50 ASINs, all for $34 a month. So great pricing there, and all of this is based on your monthly order volume, as you can see there. So yeah, I'll just save these changes, and now you can see that I've kind of switched from a standalone SellerPulse package to now we have a product that includes Feedback 5 and SellerPulse together. So to kind of go back to that use case where we wanted to start tracking ASINs, just click here on the reviews tab, and then start tracking your ASINs there. And actually, if you connected to Amazon, all your products would start showing up here, and we would actually start automatically tracking your top selling ASINs anyway. So super easy. If you sign up for standalone SellerPulse, but you want to start adding either Feedback 5 or product reviews, super easy to make those changes in the accounts page and start leveraging all the great features that Ecom Engine offers.
Right. Well, thank you to everybody for joining today, and thanks to Lewis for that detailed explanation of the software and all the benefits. If anybody has any questions, feel free to email us directly, contact us. We'd be happy to walk through anything with you one-on-one or answer any of your questions. But hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.